Hi fam, welcome to my YouTube channel, Divine Calling. My name is Agnes Morago, caregiver, life coach. Subscribe, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Thank you so much for everybody who has hit that subscribe button. There is a bell at the corner. Hit that bell. There's a drop bar that is going to come. Select all so that once I upload a video, you'll be the first one to get it. Today, we are going to discuss about some of the services that caregivers offer to persons living with dementia, living with Parkinson's disease, living with Alzheimer's, and so on and so forth, and especially in the second and the third stage, because it is here that most of your family members and most of your loved ones will need full-time care and assistance while eating, sometimes while moving, sometimes even when performing their personal care. And if you cannot be able to do it, get a caregiver that will love them, get a caregiver that is trained, guys. I have to bold that, underline that, and in red, trained, so that your loved one will be in good care. Because it is here during the second and the third stage that you are going to realize that technically, yes, your loved one is in front of you and they are seated right in front of you, but they are not who they were. They don't remember you, they don't know you, they don't know who is taking care of them. So imagine if you're leaving them with someone who does not understand what dementia is. I have a short story. I saw a video. It was abroad. I didn't know dementia by that time, but there's this gentleman who had put a camera in his home, wanting to know how the mother is. And I'm telling you, those people that were taking care of the mother used to turn that camera when she was agitated. They would beat her, they would mishandle her, they would kick her. So, guys, I can't stress enough, get someone who knows what they are doing. And while at that, if you get a good caregiver, respect them. It is not easy being a caregiver. I am one, so I'm speaking of something that I know. If you get a caregiver that is patient, that is emphatic, that is compassionate, that is kind hearted, kind spirited towards your member of a family, guess what? They don't know them. They just choose to love them. They just choose to be there. And these are some of the diseases that bring hallucinations and delusions, like I told you people. So you sometimes you cannot believe what a loved one is telling you, that they were beaten. First, do investigations before you jump on a caregiver telling them that they messed your family member. And still at that, caregivers, this is towards you. Even if you offer some services that we are going to discuss, let us engage our residents. Let us engage these people living with dementia, because promote independence as much as you can. In as much as you are told you are a caregiver, if this person can be able to do something for themselves, please let them do. Because we see dementia is all about the brain cells degenerating. And if you allow this person to take part and parcel in their personal care, it will boost their brain, it will boost their bodies and keep them active. And guess what? It will also help in reducing the disease in the progression. Okay? What else can I say? Yes, before you offer any other service, before you introduce yourself to this client, make sure that you're facing them directly. Let them look at you in the eye. Introduce yourself to them before engaging in any activity, because some of them don't even remember you. They see you every day, but they can't remember you. So, guys, again, your voice should be patient. Speak clearly but slowly. Dementia does not like noise. So if you go shouting at them, they'll back out and they are going to fringe and cringe and think you're there to hurt them. So, without any further ado, these are some of the services that caregivers offer to your loved ones. One of the things that I tell people to know when they are becoming caregivers is that this kind of job will either give you a blessing or a curse. And the first time you meet someone, the first impression, have you ever walked into an interview and people tell you the first impressions really matter? Even with dementia, impressions do matter, because the way you connect with this person will determine how your relationship will be with this person. If you seem like you're rude, if you seem like you're agitated, if you seem like you're forcing them to do something, these are people that were once independent and they know themselves. They were professors, they were teachers, they were lecturers, they were sailors, they were soldiers, they were people who are recognized in the society. So be kind, be emphatic. So one of the services that caregivers offer is serving trays and giving residents food and feeding the residents. So while doing this, guys, as I said, you have to introduce yourself. Tell them, Mrs. Jane Doe, my name is Agnes Murago. I am here to offer you breakfast. And you have to make sure that their food is good, their food is warm. You have to make sure that it is a balanced diet. Sometimes these diets are arranged by the nurses or the doctors, but sometimes you're the one who is legible to cook this kind of food. So you have to cook with love, you have to cook with passion, because you are cooking for someone that you are looking after. So serving trays and feeding residents. Number two, giving them medications. You have to be on a radar. If they are supposed to take medication after breakfast or before breakfast, you cannot miss this time. The number of times they're supposed to take their medications, you cannot miss it. Again, if their medications are finishing, you have to speak to the family so that they can do a reimbursing. Is that the right word? Yes, so that they can replace the medicine. You don't find yourself, there is no medication for a resident. Three, you have to bath this resident. Being a caregiver, you have to know what kind of bath that this person is supposed to be given. There are people who are in their late stages and they cannot leave the bed. So with them, they are done a complete bed bath. You have to be trained to do some kind of these things, because there is positioning. Some of these residents are old. You might tamper with their bones. So a complete bed bath is done when you know what you're supposed to be doing. Other residents are able to take themselves to the showers. You walk them to the shower, give them a bath, enjoy the time in the bathroom. There are others that are specified by the doctors that they can do baths in the tub, maybe having been put some medication to relax their nerves. So you have to follow on what the doctor recommends for case to case basis. Another thing that caregivers do for residents is bed making. These are people that used to wake up, assume it was a soldier. The first thing that they do when they wake up is make their bed, make sure it is smooth. There's a way they do it. So if a person can be able to do it, you can work together while talking and enjoying and making yourself busy. If they are not able to do it, again, you are going to be there for them to be doing it. A caregiver is someone who is constantly, on a daily basis, taking care of this person. So you have to know their schedule and how they learn and how to do their things. One of the ways that you can do it is talk to family members, let them tell you what kind of things that this person loves, and then you can be able to incorporate them in their services as you look after them. Another service is making sure that the residents are clean. Sometimes you are feeding them and food came all over them. You have to wipe them. You have to make sure that they are clean. If they need a change of clothes, you are there to do it. Which other service is there? Helping with their toileting needs. There are residents who will be able to take themselves to the bathroom. There are others who won't be able to take themselves to the bathroom. So you assist on where you can be able to assist. There are people who do incontinent pants, or they are called incontinent briefs. These are the adult incontinent pants. So you have to check them so that they don't get wet and they don't get a rash, or they don't get something that will make them get uncomfortable. There are people who cannot afford these incontinent pants. So you have to time, like an individual like you know what times are best for you to go to the bathroom. So you'll have studied this resident and knows maybe at 9 a.m. in the morning, they go to take their long call. If you miss that and they soil themselves, you have to make sure you put on your gloves, go to the bathroom and clean them. I remember when I used to train, there's a lady, I'll call her Jane Doe. There's a lady I used to look after. I missed with a few steps, and I'm telling you, she soiled herself. I think during the hallucinations, she saw maybe it was something beautiful. So she took that poop, put it in her shoe, and started smearing it in her hands. I'm telling you, it was messy. But there was nothing else I could do. I just took Mrs. Jane Doe to the bathroom, cleaned her up, no shouting because she cannot even understand what she's doing, changed her clothes, and she was way comfortable. And as I was changing her clothes, she was giving me this story of how she has not milked her cows. And I gave her a story of how I've done it already for her. Let me change you so that we can go and see how the cows are doing. And she cooperated. Dementia just needs patience. All right? So another service is cleaning of the equipments. There are people who sit on wheelchairs. There are people who leave the bed during the day. They're on wheelchairs. You have to make sure that that wheelchair is cleaned. You have to make sure that that wheelchair is in a good condition, because this is where this person spends most of their time. Other people will use bedpans. You have to make sure those bedpans are clean, disinfected, so that to avoid germs and contamination, even for you and the people that are living with you. Another service is making sure that residents can be able to be transferred in the correct positioning. People leave the bed to the wheelchair. You just cannot just whisk someone up and you put them on the wheelchair. You might mess their spinal cord. So you need to be trained on transfers and positioning. Come, I will hold your hand if you want to be a caregiver. I'll take you to where I went to school. You're going to be an expert. Even though you'll not be able to employ a caregiver in future, you can be able to do it for a loved one. So guys, these are some of the services that caregivers offer. You have to do it with your whole heart. Some of these people that you look after are people that once were able to do these things for themselves. So they will become angry, they'll become frustrated once they see they cannot be able to do it. But it is you and it is your job to make sure that they are comfortable, and to make sure you assure them and keep reassuring them that you're there for them, to work for them and help them where they cannot be able to take care of themselves. So guys, the services that caregivers offer are massive. Like I said in the beginning, respect caregivers. Be yearning to be a caregiver. I will leave my number in the description box below. If you are willing, chat me up. I am more than willing to help you, because we are learning together and we have to take care of our old people. Remember, I told you in Kenya, we do not have so many care homes where we can go leave our parents. They can only stay with us, and we are the only people that can be able to take care of them. So join me next week as we discuss more on caregiving. Thank you so much for keeping it here. God bless you, and hit that subscribe button, guys. I won't get tired. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. God bless you. Until next week, one love.